Here we go. Here we are. One Piece 1190 is out. Wheezy Teddy, what's going on, family? See Matt, Frodo. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm excited for this week's chapter, man. Memento back like we never left. How we doing, everybody? It feels like these keep happening more and more infrequently. Next chapter will be during One Piece Day. When is One Piece Day, Wheezy? What are my expectations? Okay. Oda's been on a roll. Been on a nice run. So I expect to really like this chapter. Hey, Teddy, it's been a minute, bro. It's been a minute, Brody. I'm happy you were able to make it, bro. August 22nd. Jeez. Is that TD with the 29? Assemble. Jeez, man. Hey, Andres, I appreciate it, bro. I was gonna go see One Night Only yesterday, but then I was like, you know what? I can wait for this one. I think I'm gonna just do my Spidey marathon. We're rewatching all the Spider-Man movies first. Not first, but prioritizing that. Oh, let's take a break last chapter because he needs to finish color spreads and 30 illustrations for the popularity poll review. Okay, makes sense. Part five. Part five, either after Yu or after Invincible. One of those. I did see that, Breezy. He said that it was made with AI. Made by AI. It was a lot of AI in that movie, and I don't know. I don't mind cheesy movies every now and again, but that was just a bad movie. Just a bad movie all around. Yikes. But no. I do feel like the excitement for movies are back and theater in general. Going to the theater to see movies. I mean, obviously with Spider-Man going crazy, the Odyssey going crazy. Uh I think one thing I'm happy about is that I I tend to not take people's opinions and use those to judge what I decide to do. So going to see the Odyssey based off of the internet's opinions and how the internet was fuming about certain things, it led to some people not going but criticizing the film because of what the internet was saying. Bad idea. Bad idea. But, it'd be like that. But here we go. We're not gonna waste no time today, y'all. We're not gonna waste no time today. One Piece 1190. Yeah. No hive minds. Good movies still have to have pulled to the movies. Good movies still. Well, here's the thing. You don't know if it's good until you go, right? Because you've heard critics talk about certain movies, and then you go and you're like, this was all right. Yo, Savage Emperor the 40. Say you're. What was I gonna say? I think here's what I say. I think people just want movies. They don't want a politics around movies. Whether that be identity politics, actual politics. They don't sell me a message through the movies. Don't try to sell an agenda through the movies because we're gonna see through it. And I think y'all know what moment I'm talking about in Endgame. That was like an indication of where Marvel was going for the next few years, and it hasn't worked out. And when you get back to the essence of what people like, people go to the movies. Like don't make movies to sell a message or an agenda, because then it ruins the movie. Yeah, Robert Pattinson is on a crazy run. I always thought he was a pretty good actor, great actor actually, but I don't know. He's starting to make waves, starting to make waves. And I saw clips from the Chris Hansen movie that he's playing in. I didn't watch the trailer. Telling y'all, I'm not watching no trailers. I watched the Spider-Man trailer in full after watching the movie. I'm like, this is the entire movie in the damn trailer. So going forward, if I see clips from a trailer, cool, but I will not go and watch an entire trailer. I'm not going to do it, bro. I understand that their job is to sell the movie and to get people interested in the movie. If I'm already interested in the movie, I'm not watching the trailer. There's no need to do that. Absolutely no need. So I'm gonna still watch the Chris Hansen movie, but I'm cool on trailers, y'all. Like even now, when I watch an anime, I don't watch the opening until the last episode. Nah, I'm cool. I'm cool. I don't need that. Like it's so many movies that I went to watch, and I'm happy I didn't even see the trailer because I went in blind. I had no idea. I didn't watch the Odyssey trailer. I didn't watch that trailer. That's what I'm saying. Like until they get to making trailers good. Visually, Odyssey looks good, but it feels like its tone doesn't fit the original story. I think that's gonna always be a debate, and we go in 1 minute. We're gonna start the reaction. It's gonna always be a debate whether or not uh an adaptation is living up to the source material, right? I didn't understand it until I saw people enjoying different arcs of One Piece that I was like, ah, man, this is probably tighter in the manga, but they don't read the manga. They have no idea how it was in the manga. So they're like, I love it. I don't, any ancillary knowledge that could give me more context, I don't really need because that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to watch the anime. So it's kind of the same thing for some people that just going as moviegoers to watch the Odyssey. They do not care about what the original story is or what the source material. Most people don't. Like even the Spider-Man movie, there are a ton of people that are saying, well, um, this isn't or some people are saying this isn't authentic to how Spider-Man really is. For a lot of people, Spider-Man is what they've seen in the movies. They don't read the comics. And then, there's so many different comics out there. It's just so I think there should be a space for people that read comics to express how they feel. Like if something doesn't live up to their standard, like how manga people do when it comes to like anime reactions. That's why it's kind of like if I'm reacting to the anime, I'm reacting to the anime as a manga fan. So I'm not just trying to be blown away by the animation. I'm going to compare what happened in the manga in comparison to what happened in the anime. For people that haven't read the manga, they're going into the anime blind. It's going to be a different space. Oh yeah, early One Piece pacing is bad. It's bad. I love the manga now, but the anime is so special. Yeah, I enjoy manga, but I said it all the time. I'm more an anime guy. That's those are kind of my roots. I started with anime. Manga, I got on manga because I didn't want to wait. Right? So I'ma always prefer a great anime over a great manga. So it's a good movie, not just not memorable. I mean, we'll see. It's early. We'll see how it ages. Spider Man's all right. The biggest problem is how Jean Grey was handled. I mean, a lot of people do enjoy Jean Grey. Um, I don't know. I guess my thing is kind of like what we expecting from Jean Grey. I don't know. I guess coming into this movie, I didn't really have any crazy expectations. Just like, yo, let's Spider Man, let's go. But here's the thing, bro. When it comes to Spider Man or movies in general, uh, it's very hard to have an objective view of said movie. It's all about how you feel. It's all about your knowledge of comics, your enjoyment of movies in general, different character tropes that you enjoy, story beats that you like. Like they were doing this thing on Twitter where there's like 13 movies that to know you, and more often than not, everybody's gonna have 13 different movies to describe them. You know how hard it would be? Do you know how difficult it would be to find two people that have the same exact list of 13 movies? That's how it is when two people go in and watch a movie and it's like, okay, well, I liked Frank Castle, but I didn't like Jean Grey. And I'm like, well, I like Jean Grey. I didn't like Frank Castle. We both watch the same thing. I never saw the X-Men movie, so I didn't know what to expect with her. Oh yeah. Carl, joining the fam. Appreciate you, Carl. Nah, I thought Spider-Man was great. I thought it was great. Uh Tom Holland, man. It's in his bag. Robert Pattinson really wants us to forget about Edward. Disco, I don't think we can. It's too iconic. Like Twilight is cheesy, but it's iconic, man. It's too iconic. It's a part of our childhood. uh, I think every 5 years or so, I go back and watch Twilight just to see how funny it was. Maybe not five, maybe closer to 10. Maybe five. But all right, here we go. One Piece 1190. One whose death is celebrated. Dang, Twilight getting killed like we wasn't locked in those seats every time it came out. I don't think Twilight Twilight was cringe, but it was entertaining. I don't like like Frodo's saying, I don't think Edward was the problem in Twilight. I think Jacob was more annoying. Bella was definitely more annoying. Uh Come on, bro. We was always watching the Twilight movies, dog. Don't fake. Hey, Carl, I appreciate you being here, man. It's all good. Thank you so much. She was cool. She was cool for the time. But all right, here we go. One whose death is celebrated. Cover request by Koedo-kun. Cats gather around Shanks as he grills fish for breakfast in a port town. I think we gotta agree. It's W cover spread, right? W cover request. Any cover request with Shanks. It's W's. We don't get the Twilight hate. I think it's revisionist history. And so there are things just not to like in Twilight for sure, but uh, you know, it was good for the time. Well wishes to everyone affected by the Kumamoto earthquake. Remember to prioritize my short recovery first. Shout out to Oda. Forgot about that. That's crazy. How much when something's not right in front of you, you don't see it. But well wishes to everyone there. Hockey man on the grill. What I love about Shanks being on the grill is that he doesn't have to use the grill. He can just use his hockey to grill these fish, but he's choosing to be down with the lower folk. You know, like his choice to be down with the regular people when he's a celestial dragon. Just a W man. Beta, that's a good point. A lot of people that think Twilight is cringe, they watched it as an adult later in years. Maybe. Maybe. I back then I didn't feel that way when I was watching it. All right, here we go. Okay, Scopper, yeah, man. To the rescue. You know what's funny? I think it's always like interesting. I'll talk about it after. Here we go. Yo, why the axe looked like it had like a doll on it or something based on the design. Like a scarecrow or something. Okay. Scapa Giaban to the rescue. I'm on BCT right now. Yo, that's crazy seeing Luffy still in the tree. He got him stuck up like a poster. And Gaban is smiling. He's like, this is how I win. Okay. Wait, what happened? Wait, did a tree get cut? Oh. Wait, did Gaban cut the tree? So tree got cut. Is it to isolate Luffy? Emu's breathing hard. Oda has given us a lot of emu um emu breathing heavy moments. Wait, what? Okay. I'm okay, wait. Okay, so the trees are cut. Luffy's so it gets Luffy free. Emu goes in for a swing on Gaban. What a hideous form. You don't even seem to be of this world. Who art thou? Emu doesn't know his history. He said, who art thou? Someone who understands the world. Levi with a 25. Watch Odyssey top 20 of all time. Top 20 all time is strong. But I don't mind it as a personal thing. Like objectively again, it's hard to kind of, you know. Hey. Okay, he's aura farming now. Get up, Straw Hat Luffy. You're a disappointment. An injured old man just had to save your ass. Don't you have any shame? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Wow. Okay. Okay. I W's. Okay, let's see. What is reasoning? So you have a shiny white form and became an emperor. Big deal. Don't get cocky. The crazy, you know what's crazy is that this is W's for Scopper, but I've been saying the same thing about Luffy for years. For years, and then we got an account called Brago the Luffy hater. I just keep it real. Luffy be on bullshit. And he be on bullshit because he gets to be on bullshit because everybody else in the crew kind of supplements the BS. He gets to fool around. He gets to not care about consequences or care about like anything. To be honest, he has the luxury to care about all the only things that he really cares about. And it's been that way for a long time. It's been that way for a long time. It's not even only after Wano. I mean, Zora talked to him and Punk Hazard about it, saying, "Yo, what we doing? Like we BSing." And then even in Zoe when he ran off, like he just. The thing is, here's the thing. It's a catch-22 because that's the thing we love about Luffy. He's unapologetically himself all the time, no matter what, and he's not gonna do something that he doesn't really want to do if he doesn't have to. And that's the benefit of having a crew that like he has. But this is what happens when you go into a fight against the world and you on bullshit. See, Luffy D Brago hater says that's just who he is. But that's the thing. Imagine, right? Imagine just for any of us here, right? How many times do you think you can get away with an excuse saying that's just who I am? Imagine if you're late to work every day and you're like, well, that's just who I am. Right? Or you fall asleep in meetings. Or you're not completing work. Like, well, that's just who I am. You can be something and understand when it's time to be responsible. Because Luffy knows when to lock. Well, not knows when to lock in. Luffy can lock in. And then something that kind of changed how I approach things. Where think about it like this for Luffy. Locking in isn't what you do. It's about the things you don't do. Right? So for Luffy, it's not about changing who you are, but it's about certain moments you got to understand, bro. It's time. Recognize the moment. And it shouldn't just come down to somebody being hurt or somebody almost dying or even dying. Like, I don't know. I'm still waiting for the effects of the genie thing. He was just on bullshit, trying shit. So W's for Scopper, big W's. It hurts, oh man, let me go. Do you want to die here? Yeah, I'm not gonna die. Let me go. You may as well. You're pathetic. Okay. All right, goodbye. All right. Okay. Again, we don't judge dialogue too harshly early. But damn. All right. You're pathetic. Do you know what will happen if you croak now? But Gabon's not wrong. Because if we lose Luffy, everything goes to hell. Like literally everything. It is a very serious situation. Like you are the last hope. You, bro, not everybody, but you're Shanks's investment. You're Shanks's investment. I won't be able to save my friends' home. Oh my God. Oh no. God. Luffy, this Scopper should not have to be talking to you like a child. He's like, that's right. And what will happen to your crew? They'd be in danger. This is like the ASL flashback all over again. And Ace and Sabo are asking Luffy questions. But again, the childlike nature of Luffy is who he is. But I'm still with Scopper here. You got to hear this. Enough. Enough. Bro, when the chapter came out versus Emu when Luffy got beaten, I was like, there's so many things that Luffy did. I'm like, what are you doing? I don't think Emu was even that wildly impressive. Just Luffy had a bad showing. I said that. Luffy's a child. Luffy's a child. Here's the thing, yo. Here's the thing. 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 I think with the responsibility that he has, with the power that he has, with the role that he's in, it's kind of like the whole child staple. No. 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 Luffy's not a child. I don't think Luffy's a child. He's just childish. He's not a child. It seems like y'all want Luffy to turn into Shanks at some point. It's not about turning into Shanks. I I think said 19 is not a grown man. How do I feel about that? I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that. They'd be in danger, right? Remember when you rise up in the sea, the number of enemies targeting you only increases. The king of the pirates is a title reserved for one whose death is celebrated because everyone's gunning for their throne. If any part of you still thinks becoming pirate king is going to be a stroll in the park, then go home now. If you're not cut out for this, you're just in the way, you stupid brat. They said 19 is a child to a 40-year-old. That's like saying 30 is a child to a 60-year-old. So then at 30, is he still a child because he's a child to somebody way older? I don't think that's an excuse. But say Luffy has the responsibility of things normally given to older people, but he chose this. This is his intent. But that's the thing. It's kind of like a child to you doesn't mean he is a child. I think it's kind of like calling him a child is almost skating the responsibility that he chose to accept. It's almost like if Luffy makes a bad decision as a pirate captain, you're gonna be like, well, he's a child. But when the Straw Hats accomplish something, be like, man, look how young Luffy is in accomplishing all this. So when he's young and accomplishing things, he's not a child. But when he's young and he's failing, he's a child. So he only gets the benefit when things go good. No, you gotta hold him accountable when it's good and when it's bad. I'm not gonna try to equate the same thing because this is real life and the real world. But if somebody commits a crime at 19, they're not gonna be like, well, he's kind of a child. So let's they're like, yeah. He's not a child. That's nothing. It's like he's not a child. He's young. He's immature. He, for all intents and purposes, with compared to Gabon, he's a kid. But technically, no, he's definitely an adult. He's an adult. Where I think is a balance. It's a balance. And again, you don't want to take away his childlike nature, but we have to acknowledge that there's sometimes where it's like it goes too far. It can be argued for reduced sentencing. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't. We can't just erase his actions and be like he's a child because he's not a child. So W's for Gabon, big W's. He needed to hear this. All right, that hurt. Damn old fart. He keeps running his mouth. I'll show him. Hopefully, let's see. Wait, but wait. So is there no consequence to being stabbed by those blades? Does he just eat it off? Is a Luffy can't buy a pack of Blackwoods, a pack of backwoods right now? Yeah, that's the that's that's the barometer. I I wonder. I think I don't know if this might be a. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Let's finish the chapter. Praying mantis axe. Praying mantis plum. Reference to a parable in Zhuangzi about a praying mantis attempting to stop an emperor's carriage. I still forget Emu's freaking large. The main argument is you can't expect maturity 24/7 from a 19-year-old who wants to party. He's all for intent and purposes of child. Bro, stop calling him a child. Because when you call, here's what happens. When you call him a child, it's almost like if you want to skate all the responsibility and the consequences to like, oh, well, he's a child. Whereas like, no, it's not okay. Like that is not an excuse. Like, what are we doing? Do you know how I won't get into it right now, but you know how dangerous it is to call a 19-year-old a child? He's a young adult. All right. Is this a jest? You want to kill him, don't you? Indeed. He really reminds you of him, doesn't he? Joy boy. Okay, Scopper. Yo, this is a good conversation. We'll continue it after the chapter. But Scopper says you want to kill him. Now he's antagonizing him? He really reminds you of him, doesn't he? Joy boy. Who art thou? What dost thou know of Moo? Yo, he was like, hold on, yo, hold on. Nigga, who are you? What you know about me? Hanebami Toshiro, Bone Eater. Forged by one of the big three of Japanese swordsmiths. Who are these niggas? Who's the big three? Now I gotta know who's the big three. Seeing Hanebami Toshiro makes me think of also my guy, King of Lightning, finally releasing his Hitsugaya Sucks Bleach video after so long. So shout out to my guy. I saw that put a smile on my face. I was like, you love to see it. But who are these big three swordsmiths? You see, you know what my issue is? I've been asking for this, bro. I've wanted this. I've just wanted some more context, some more focus on swordsmanship. Ooh, maybe they didn't see Joy Boy and Laugh Tale. They probably got information. It's probably a story that they got about Joy Boy. No, Tashiki's not never getting these. I mean, just more focus on swordsmanship. I'm not asking for it to be Kagurabachi. You know what I mean? I'm not asking for for it to be that, where that's the entire point. But damn, now we getting swordsmiths? He got one of the big three? Well, it's forged by one of the big three of Japanese swordsmiths. This is amazing. What dost thou know? Because the thing is, what Scopper is saying is knowledge that we have and it makes sense to us. But Emu's like, how would you know this? How would you know the Gear 5 reminds him of? That would mean that you have knowledge of Joy Boy, you have knowledge of the past, you have knowledge of me. Who are you? That would piss me off too. And you talking about you know about the world? Oh, jeez. I'm Big H2 says swordsmanship. You say I smell a Mihawk upscale. Listen, I love the Mihawk upscale memes. I love them. I think they're hilarious. But now's not the time. Now is not the time for that. We got niggas pulling out blades, blade after blade after blade after blade. For all intents and purposes, Emu's a swordsman. um. Oh, I learned from Joy Boy's own words. Okay. Okay. But don't get me wrong. I have no intention of chasing after a person from the past that I've never seen nor met. I just want to see my captain's dream through till the end. Holy Emu entrusted Yoru to his great great grandson. Shout out to Vice with the 45. Drew was Hanny. Nah, I already respected Gabon, but the respect has gone up immensely this chapter. He's like Rayleigh, but he's even more harsh, but necessary. Like Rayleigh told Luffy what he needed to hear, what he had to hear at that time after Marineford, even before then. But he told him, especially after, like the things that he needed to do better is like, bro, you're not ready for the new world. Come train with me. And Gabon is telling him, yo, you gotta be better. You gotta understand what's at risk here, what's on the line. Like it's almost like if he's speaking to the older, more mature version of Luffy, and he's the perfect person to do that. I think in this moment to antagonize Emu this way is not only making Emu mad, it is also buying Luffy time because now Emu is not even focused on Luffy. He's just focused on this old man that seemingly knows a lot about me, about Joy Boy, about history. There's only a few people that should know about this stuff. So I wonder if Emu narrows it down and figures it out at some point. Uh you know, I the toxic here's a toxic mindset. The toxic thing I could say here is, yeah, Scopper's way better than Rayleigh. But it's almost like saying Sanji's way better than Zoro in the fact that they both have necessary roles where they're both essential. Where I think back then, I don't know if the heavy hand would have worked on the mindset of that Luffy back then. But I don't think it was necessary. I think here it's absolutely necessary. You've had a journey throughout the new world this entire time. You are the great hope. You are the great hope. So it's just showing just how valuable having these two wings are. I think. I think he's giving Luffy what's necessary at this time. And right now, being harsher, being more blunt is what Luffy needs. Ray definitely took it easy on Luffy, but I think Ray is crazy, right? But those excuses we were talking about Luffy, or earlier in the stream where we're saying Luffy's a child, I think Luffy was a child 2 years ago, where he didn't understand. He really didn't understand the world. He didn't understand what he's walking into. Marineford? Marineford was like a fast track to growing up. So Scott would have technically accidentally killed Luffy in training with how harsh he is. Come on, Luffy's not gonna die. Luffy needs another humbling. I mean, it's happening right now. I think after this, he should be good, but that's the thing, Matt. I can't. Harsher doesn't equal better typically, right? But I think this is more necessary. So Shanks chose Luffy because of who he is. Luffy didn't sail to become a hero. He wanted to be free but be himself. But I think that's the thing, though, Dawn. Like, there's a route that Luffy chose to become the freest man on the seas. And to become the freest man on the seas, Luffy took on crewmates and accomplices that could help him get to that point. And to become that, those people also have to be free. So that comes with a level of responsibility. When you slap your flag on other countries and deem to protect other people, this is the responsibility that comes with it. So yes, Luffy didn't sail out to become a hero, but over this journey, that's just a part of the responsibility because of the people that you've come, that not only look up to you, that follow you, the people that you chose to be with you. So I think with even with heroism, it's not necessarily a choice, right? It's like you don't have to choose to be a hero. Almost like being a good person. It just is. Uh but let's finish. Let's finish. All right. Uh, okay, I learned from Joy Boy's own words, but don't get me wrong. I have no intention of chasing after a person from the past that I've never seen nor met. I just want to see my captain's dream. That's another thing. That's another major thing in this chapter. Where's Roger's dream? Dawn, we'll after the chapter, we'll talk about it. We'll delve into it. Um, like I said, I like when chapters like this happen because it leads to just really, really good conversation and dissections of character, right? So the genie thing let him survive a short hit like stigma. He turned to smoke. But here's the thing: did he do the genie thing to survive stigma, or it just happened to play out that way? Right? Results over process. Captain? Stupid old man looking down on me. Come on, heal, heal, even if it's just for a little bit. Who is this captain? The king of the pirates, Gold D. Rogers. All right, Scopper's my goat. Oh, shit. Will Luffy unlock healing abilities? I sure the hell hope not. I think there's a certain respect, okay? There's a certain respect and admiration that I have when you can put your nuts on the table, even in the midst of being injured, understanding you're overmatched, but no matter what, I'm going to talk my shit. Respect to Scopper. Respect to Scopper. I respect. This is distasteful. Why is a D being called King of the Pirates? Do not let his name spread any further, as you command. Yo, yo, finding out Emu made the boss call on Roger is hilarious. Yo, it's not even a fact that he became King of the Pirates. Emu's more mad that it's a D. I'm not gonna lie. Here's something. Here's something that like that I can appreciate. A genuine hater, right? Like I can appreciate that. If you just lean into it and that's just who you are, bro, kudos. He said, bro, why is a D? Like it's a slur. Why is a D being called the king of pirates? Ugh! Do not let his name spread any further. That's right, the one who ushered in this golden age of piracy. And why would his former crewmate protect Straw Hat Luffy? Because you're trying so hard to get rid of him. Doesn't that explanation seem the most obvious? When you declared a kid like that a threat, eventually someone that whoa. All right, this is flashback. Eventually someone that can surpass us will be born. We were just too early. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm not gonna lie. We were just too early. I There's something almost ethereal about, again, I don't know if this is prophecy, I don't know if this is feeling, I don't know if this is just Roger being Roger, but him being so confident and so at peace with the possibility of someone surpassing them. And he's just like, yo, eventually someone that can surpass us will be born. We're just too early. And he was okay with that. And seeing Scopper with Rayleigh and Crocus, man. Oh, hopefully it doesn't become too serious after this overcorrection. Here's the thing. I don't think there's anything bad about characters being characters. Right? I think we can have discussions about it, conversations about it. But if an overcorrection happens, that's even more conversation. That's even more development because eventually it's going to balance out. So I don't think we can control growth, but I don't mind if an overcorrection happens because that's going to lead to even more conversation. It's going to lead to more, I think, growth within Luffy. So Luffy's rubber. He's malleable. Whatever happens is good. More character work, I'm always here for it. That's going to make the story better. The more Luffy finds himself. The old men just be hyping anyone now. Like, why is the doctor up there? Hey, Morningstar, I want to say it. I want to say it, but you know that dragon meme? The three-headed dragon. But I want to say, I wanted to like give the moment reverence. I want to, you know what I'm saying? Oh, shit. Hey, I was going to say something, but I was like, not the time. Let's. In my head, I'm like, oh man, Roger, Scopper, Rayleigh, Crocus. But it's like, I think they're looking at it like they're just the Roger Pirates of the Strats, man. Oh shit, I was thinking it, Morningstar. I'm glad you said that shit, bro. Ooh. Oh shit. Oh, not gonna lie. We probably should have put Shanks there. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, Shanks would have been great there. Shanks would have been great. Shanks would have been great. But nah. Scalper is fine. I mean, Crocus is fine. Crocus is fine there. Crocus is fine there. But here we go. When he declared a kid like that a threat, you may have well announced that he is the one we've been waiting for. Ooh, we got Scoffer, Rayleigh, Crocus, Shanks, Oden, Whitebeard. You know, you know the tough part. The tough part about it is when I think of the progression of the story and the intricate moments that had to happen. Oden doesn't come to mind initially, and how important he was to what transpired. I wonder why I feel that way. A valid point. We were hasty and foolish. Perhaps we simply mistook numerous coincidences for fate. Let us put an end to this. But Emu, earlier in the arc, you said that basically fate was inevitable. You declared the Giants are going to be the Giants based on what happened in the past. You were kind of looking at fate and history as like they're synonymous, and his history is bound to repeat itself. I think I don't like how okay. It's so weird. It's so weird because Odin's exit from the story was so epic. But I feel like his impact on the world while he was here, even while he was traveling with Roger and this different stuff was amazing. I'm like, why? Why does he feel like this to the masses? I don't know. Sorry, treasure tree Adam. I don't want to devour you, but damn, my joints ache. This body of mine's getting run down. That punk, I won't forgive him even if he is Rayleigh's friend. Stig. Oh shit. Kamudo. Oh my god. Oh, that's thou art. Thou art still the pirate king's crew. Oh my god. Is that what you think? 8,000 slash Grim Throng. Wait. Honebami. I could say the same to you, you know. This nigga still can go out there and drop 30 on him. Is Gabon moving up the all time list? I already had him pretty high. Where did we have Gabon? Where did I have Gabon? 22. $22 all time. We'll talk about it. Realm of the Dead. Realm of the Sun. What? Yo. What? Did Luffy do that? No, it was someone else. And they're strong, overwhelmingly strong. Oh, shit. Oh, Stigma. Yeah. I mean, I prefer this actually. As opposed to him dying. Forgot who I spoke to, but they gave like why a reason why Gabon is best for him to not die and just be around. And I actually prefer that. So him losing an arm versus Emu, it doesn't take away from Emu, but Gabon does get upscale as well. So I'm here for it. That's fire. That's amazing. Yeah, I had Gabon 22. He's definitely moving up because he's behind Odin, Garling, and Kong. Then 18 was Rayleigh. Then Shiki, Sengoku. Yeah, he's definitely moving up the list for me. Once when we do that again, I don't think we do all time again until One Piece ends, probably. So, um, this chapter is phenomenal. This chapter was phenomenal. Scopper Gabon, what a crewmate! What a crewmate! I think, bro, it's so much. It's so much to be said about somebody like this that could have obviously been their own pirate captain that choose to follow somebody like Roger. And that goes the same for like Zoro and Sanji, where they're just like they're phenomenal, bro. I just I think this is the problem though. This is my issue with One Piece sometimes is that these guys, we don't get to see actually how phenomenal they are until it's too late. Scopper's amazing. Yes, Gabon could have in fact sparred with Luffy and Zoro. That's a fact. He still loses, but okay. He still loses, but I don't think you do that unless you're willing to get serious, and you can't get serious with Luffy and Zoro, because then it's like I'm doing too much. So no, Gabon was 1,000% justified in what he did. 1,000%. He definitely can spar with Luffy and Zoro. If Chopper can reattach fingers, he can definitely reattach an arm. If he gets his arm back, I don't think he's of consequence to the story whether he does or not. So I'm okay with either way. Second divine move. Do you think Rayleigh has one? More than likely. No, it's definitely going to be a fun fight, but he'd have to turn it up. And if he turns it up, he might actually hurt one of them or both of them. I wow, bro. This is here's what happened, bro. After what really did for the Straw Hats and Sabaody, we did for Luffy Marineford, even going and trading Luffy, I'm like, bro, I don't know how Oda makes. I don't know if Oda does bring Scopper in because we were talking about this like 6 years ago, 6 years ago about Scopper and Oda finally showing Scopper. We've been talking about this for a while, even before then. When that cover story of him talking to Crocus, we didn't know who it was. It was a conversation of I don't know how Oda has anybody live up to Rayleigh and what Rayleigh's done, the things Rayleigh has done for the Straw Hats, even him pulling up on Blackbeard, saving Boa. It was just like, man, figure, this figure of Silver's Rayleigh is so imposing and phenomenal. Like how do you match this? Oda said, "Hold my sake." And Scopper Gabon. when you look at it in totality, him first meeting Luffy and Zoro, that quick test, right? Standing down when he didn't have to, he could have kept going. He has the strength to. And the moves he's made in Elbaf to protect the Straw Hats, to kind of hold Emu at bay, even Gunko beating him because of the collar. Like, wow. I'm not gonna lie. You know how I'm feeling, bro? I'm feeling like one of them fodder that like run across. I come across like a pirate like Scopper, and I'm like, you were subordinate, and I'm like, if you were subordinate, I need more from Roger. I feel like Roger hasn't gotten his just due because of yeah. Scopper's him. Scopper's him. I do I like Scopper more now? That's crazy. The off-screen in God Valley flashback where he was fighting Odin. If he's from current Rayleigh and Gaban of similar levels, what does this say about Blackbeard? We know Rayleigh couldn't beat him. I think Scapan. I think Scopper Gaban is stronger than Rayleigh right now. He's more active. He's been more active. Do I put Scopper over Blackbeard? Probably not. But I think he's stronger than Rayleigh right now. So Ray's been. Remember when Ray pulled up to somebody, he said he hasn't picked up the sword in years. Scopper been active. He been moving. Now is Ray similar to Scopper when he's active? Sure, but God Valley. I'm not even talking about God Valley. God Valley. Yeah, you got to keep putting up shots. If he stops shooting for a while, you can still shoot, but Gabon is clearly still putting up shots. Gabon, you got Scopper whooping Blackbeard's ass. I think we gotta chill. I do the same thing, yo. I do the same thing when it comes to Blackbeard. Where I just, bro, sometimes it's hard to see the scale for Blackbeard, the pinnacle. But then I'm like, fuck, he does have two of the best devil fruits out there. And there's still something else mysterious about him. Braga, the only thing you lose when getting older is speed. How old are you, Shanks? How old are you? I want to ask, how old are you? How old are you? I want to know, how old are you? Tell me how old you are. The only thing you lose when getting older is speed. How old are you? Ah, that's not how age works, man. Unfortunately, I wish it was that simple. Big. So what's good, Rock? Great chapter. Unk, stand up. That's a fact. That's a fact. You lose a lot as you age, brother. You lose a lot as you age. Recovery is different. Your stamina, even muscle, even lose height, right? Eyesight. It's a lot that goes as you age. I wish it was just speed. um Hand-eye coordination. It's bro. And the thing is, like, as you age, it's not even, you don't even realize it. Cause you still moving fine. Right? What happens is what also happens is you don't realize how much you've aged until you go up against somebody younger. And you're like, what the fuck? You like, all right, wait, am I tripping? But I used to move like that. It's like a mirror. And you're like, oh, shit. Or, bro, have you ever fallen up the steps? Have you ever fallen up the steps and then you like, I'm talking about like you hurt for like a week. And I'm like, oh, now I'm thinking, should I go get it looked at? Did I pop something? I'm not even talking about falling down the steps. I'm talking about falling up the steps. Ah, bro, I'm gonna give Scoffer his flowers, bro. If I play football now, I listen. I couldn't imagine going out there and trying to play football with some 21-year-olds or 22. 18? Hell no. And part of the thing as well that you have to account for as you age is that you have more to lose, right? You have more to lose. So some of the risks that you take at as a younger person, you're not taking at that age because you're like, it's not worth it. So we gotta give Scott Gabon all the credit here, bro. Going up against this immortal being and still showing out like he did. Come on, yo. Come on, bro. But here's the thing. There are times when like you can, let's say it's basketball and you can recover to make a block or a stop, but you're like, I don't know how much I got in the bag. I'm gonna save it. So now it's like a lot more saving different things to prepare for the next play. It's not that you can't, you're like, you got it. We're gonna just come back next play. When you're younger, you're going after everything. Everything. Because I'm unstoppable. Unstoppable. Unlimited. Unlimited. Nah, man. Aging is like a beautiful curse. Because you want to age. Because, that's a good thing. That means, well, you're alive. But, well, it comes with a lot. Man, this was phenomenal. Scopper Gabbana is phenomenal. Scopper, all my respect. All my respect. Roger, for whatever. Honestly, this is Roger upscale. I love the main cast of One Piece because none of them are perfect. They all have major flaws, and I love them for their flaws. Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, all of them. How do I feel about the Straw Hats? Mm. I think Luffy. I think Luffy is the best MC for the story because of how much he's the engine for everything that basically everybody does. And as much as we talk about his childlike nature, it is necessary for basically a lot of the things that they've accomplished because you got to be insane for some of the risks that he's taken. But he's come out on the other end, and they've become stronger as a crew because of it. For Zoro, I think, of course, a lot of us prefer him pre-time skip when he was, I think, a bit more balanced as a character. Post time skip, he's been a bit more serious, um, a bit more honed in on his goal. It seems like so. It's at this, you know, his character takes a hit. For Sanji, he possesses all the qualities that you wish Zoro had in a way as a character for some of the things that he does, but then he doesn't get the treatment that Zoro gets when it comes to feats and hype, and so then he kind of gets left by the wayside when it comes to the masses. But probably the best character in One Piece. The others, I think Nami's phenomenal. Um, I have no issues with Nami. For Robin, I just would like more focus. For Brooke, I'm tired of the gag, and Brooke is an amazing character as we see from the flashback. For Chopper, he's been reduced to a plush puppy. For Jimbei, he is a sixth man that doesn't get in the game. For Frankie, he lost his aura once he got them shoulders. So, um, I think all the Straw Hats have amazing qualities. Then it's all necessary. It's all necessary. I just think when I criticize the Straw Hats, it's more so because of how they're handled and less because of the things, or it's more so because of how they're handled. Because you expect so much more. Oh, Usopp. Well, well, that's you know, I'm just being like Oda. Who? Usopp? So, that's been the issue. Um Recently experienced Yu Yu Hakusho again. And in a way, they have their own Straw Hat crew, right? With Yusuke and Kurama, Hiei, Kuwabara, but then you have Shizuru, Yukina, Keiko, and the goat Botan, even having Koenma and even Ogre. Then you can include Genkai. But you understand who are the background support characters and who are like the main guys. I gotta say, bro. I gotta say, it's really difficult to argue an MC better or as well rounded as Yusuke in Shonen. And I just finished a Dark Tournament for Yu Yu Hakusho. And once I make my anime ranking again, it's gonna be hard to keep it out of my top 10. It's gonna be very difficult. I don't know how I'll be able to do it. Like those moments are like implanted in my brain, bro, in my heart. Lobby Warsaw with the 10 says, random question, but what do you think about the binge reader trying to tell weekly readers that certain arcs weren't bad? I've seen binge readers say hated arcs like Fourth Great Ninja War and Wano were great. That's a good one. That's a great one. I think that's the human experience. We were talking about something similar as far as people that read the source material versus people that just watch like movies or adaptations. And we have different approaches, right? It's almost like bro, we're never gonna be able to fully understand the other's perspective. But I think you can try to understand it. You can try to understand it, but I think what happens is, first off, you have a lot of people that, especially Twitter, so a lot of people don't say their true thoughts online. Sometimes it's just bait. Sometimes it's just rage bait. But if it's a genuine conversation, right? If we're being honest, here's what happens with binging. When you binge something, you don't remember much. You choose what you remember. So for a lot of the things that I've binged, I've loved. Because I don't remember the bad. I only remember the good. A weekly experience typically is going to be more cynical. This is why I understand more of why studios put out a lot of episodes at a time. Because they want you to, right? They want you to, because your mind is going to tell you, this is phenomenal. I got through all of it. If you got to sit with something for long enough, you can find a flaw in anything. In anything. So when you get to the binging One Piece, yeah, it's not gonna feel like there are any issues with Wano or because you can get to Roof Piece quick. So it feels like, man, that shit is flowing. But when you're week to week and you're dissecting and it's a bunch of conversations all the time, you're going to find some issues. So I don't think their experience is wrong at all, but you're not going to limit my experience because I decided to do it weekly. You know what I'm saying? Like the flaws that I point out, address the flaws. They're like, oh, that didn't bother me. That's fair. But I don't think they're wrong, but that's just a different experience. Like when I think about all the shows that I've binged, bro, like uh what's a show that I watched I was watching Demons of the Shadow Realm. I dropped it. Maybe after the season is done and I decide to binge it, I probably enjoy it more. But as of right now, I dropped it. And honestly, typically, the truth of the matter is, I'm not going to binge something I don't enjoy. So, of course, my experience is going to be positive. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, they're not wrong, but you're not wrong either for how you feel. It's just a difference. And also, there's a part of us that we're kind of in an echo chamber. Like, here's a truth of the matter. The true goats, the truly great shows, are great even when it's binged or when it's consumed weekly. I watched Attack on Titan weekly and I binged it. It was phenomenal both times. But the tough part about it too is that some shows, they're at the mercy of studios. Right? They're at the mercy of the studio. So it's like you're not even getting the accurate experience based on how it's supposed to be received. Oh, Sentenced to Be a Hero. I watched the entire season. I watched the entirety of season one. I enjoyed Sentenced to Be a Hero. I gave season one like a 7.5. It was a good season. It was a good season. It ended really well too. Here's my thing about Damon's and my issue with it, right? And I'm probably gonna finish it out of respect. It looks just like FMAB. It looks just like FMAB. So I was constantly comparing it to FMAB. And when you're comparing it to my top one of all time, it's it gets tough. And then I realize I'm like, when I'm watching something, I'm like, all right, what do I care about here? Do I care about the characters? Do I care about the plot? Do I care about the fighting? Right? With Damon's, I didn't care about anything. The fighting was okay. The plot was okay. The characters were okay. And I'm like, okay. There are too many things that I need to catch up on that I haven't watched that I'm going to spend or waste time watching something that's okay. It's a difference with like legacy things where people are like, nah, you got to watch this. Because it has like there are people vouching for it. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to give it a chance. With Damon's, there are people that read the manga. It's like, oh, it's a slow burn, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, eh. I'm like, I just saw Kimberly. I saw Kimberly. And the thing is, why I don't feel bad about Damon's is that I was okay getting through Sentenced to Be a Hero. What's that other show? That I just watched. Was Sentenced to Be a Hero. Frieren. Right? Frieren was a slow burn, bro. Frieren was a slow burn. But Frieren was so good. By the time you got to the end of Frieren, you're like, how? But it was slow. Which had a Tellier. I thought they ended the season too soon. What, 12 episodes? 12 or 13, too soon. With Damon's, it was just like you gave me nothing to hold on to. I have nothing to hold on to. But Sensei to be a hero, there's stuff to hold on to. With Damon's right now, because the character models are just like FMAB and the plot is okay. I'm sorry, Damon's. Maybe I'll come back to you, but right now I'm cool. Nippon Sangoku. I haven't talked to anybody about this. Because there's certain shows that I'm watching. I'm recording my reactions, but I'm watching him secretly to kind of upload later. Nippon Sangoku is one of them. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. I think I told you guys already. I finished season 1 of Severance. Phenomenal. Freer in his wine, AOT is cocaine. I like that. I like that, Don. I like that. I like that. Yeah, Witch Hat. I think Witch Hat is one of those stories. And I don't know. I don't know. Here's the crazy part, right? In Western animation, Western culture, right? It's been a lot of forcibly just female led content, right? It hasn't felt genuine with some of these shows that they've been trying to do. But then we get some of the best shows in anime, like Apothecary, with Mao Mao, with Frieren, with obviously Frieren. Then you have Witch Hat with Coco, where it's like, if it's done right, people are gonna love it. You just have to do it right. You just got to do it right. So maybe you got to take some tips. You gotta we just gotta do it better. Marshall. I've never seen Marshall. Yo, Severance was phenomenal. Damon picks up. I don't let the character similarities overshadow what's going on. It's hard not to, though. It's hard not to. So, like, the appeal of the MC solely them being female, as far as Western culture, like, that's their entire identity. Yeah, that's the thing. It doesn't feel like that's the selling point for. It doesn't feel like that's the selling point for the story. Like, they don't harp on Frieren being a female. Even for Mao Mao. It's more about like their other qualities that sets them apart. Where in Western media, it's kind of leading with female. And then it comes across as, okay, I see what you're trying to do. Where there's a way to do it, this just isn't the way to do it. Like we talk about Endgame and that scene in Endgame all the time, where it's like unnecessary. Why? Doesn't feel like it's part of the doesn't feel authentic. Feels like it's forced. Trying to pigeonhole something that doesn't work. That's why, hey, whether or not it's part of the comics or whatever, it kind of aligned with what was going on. Black Panther 2. Yeah. Like, there's a way to do it. There's a way to do it. Zikor, And the thing is, I like Kim Possible. I love Kim Possible. I love Totally Spies. Charlie's Angels. But Now my only strong female is Jukebox. That shot in Endgame is so cringe. It's so cringe. Literally in the theater, I'm like just overwhelmed with joy. All this is happening, and the scene happens. I look over. We both look at each other like, okay. Powerpuff Girls. Come on, yo. I'm with you, Teddy. I love Shigo as well. Supergirl, because bro, here's a problem with Supergirl. Because I didn't, and again, I try to stay away from trailers and interviews and shit like that because I don't want it to take away from my experience. I went back and I watched some of the interviews, and I'm like, what are we doing? Like I'm like, y'all gotta let Millie know, like, what's going on here. Where I think one of the interviews, Millie was like, I think Supergirl is great because it shows that you don't need a man. Yeah. Starfire, Raven, Blackfire, Winx Club. Nah. Oh, Ironheart. And then reading the source material for Supergirl, I'm like, this shit is amazing. And the source material is amazing. How do you fumble it this bad? I don't know. We'll see what happens with DC. But I saw a tweet, bro. I saw a tweet that had me rolling where they said Marvel just dropped $1 billion on our head and they developing what was the show? They're developing some show. They just casted somebody in some obscure niche show. And they're like, this is what we working on? Yeah? This is what we working on? Spider-Man just dropped $1 billion. Ah. I enjoyed Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman movie. I enjoyed the first one. The second one, not so much. Yeah, they did say it was gonna make more than Spider-Man. They just marketed it wrong, and then the movie just wasn't great. It was fine, but it just wasn't great. Oh, the Jimmy Olsen, the fucking Jimmy Olsen, Jimmy Olsen. What are we doing, yo? Spider-Man just dropped a Billy from Marvel. You know what you need? You need a great Flash movie. You need to cast the Flash right and do a great Flash movie. Jimmy Olsen? Okay. Sure. Sure. So DC's just starting out. Y'all need to relax. No, DC's just restarting. Restarting. Don't act like this is like this new kid on the block. Restarting. Oh man, ReZero rewatch. So here's the thing. I'm trying not to watch too many things at once so that I don't drop anything. So Invincible, I'll be caught up with Invincible by the end of this month. So after Invincible, then we have a slot for like Fridays. So I'm thinking it's either gonna be ReZero or Sword Art or no, I'm not doing that. I was gonna say Bleach. But um But Bleach is getting watched. But Bleach is gonna replace Dragon Ball Z when I'm done. But Bleach is getting watched. So yeah, I gotta watch SAO. We had the big heavy hitters for DC didn't go anywhere because they weren't done right. They weren't done well. Where I'm at in DBZ, um, where I'm at in DBZ is well, Cell just attained perfect status. I watched Arcane. I watched all of Arcane. Reacted to all of Arcane. So yeah, DBZ right now, Cell just achieved perfect status. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Pissed me off. That entire debacle pissed me off. He intends on doing smaller characters. That's why Peacemaker and the characters. He's just doing things he wants to do, not what the people want. But that entire saga, I gotta tell y'all, never experienced it before. I gotta say this. Krillin, I get it. He saw Android 18 and he was like, I can't kill her. 18 and 17 become endearing really quickly. Trunks is the fucking man, the only sane one during this entire thing. Vegeta is so fucking prideful, but oh my god, Vegeta's my favorite character. I respect, that boy Vegeta came out, turned to Super Vegeta, and was like, but also I gotta give props to Cell. Cell played it perfectly. Cell was like, oh man, if I was my perfect form, he wouldn't have a chance. Vegeta said, oh really? And Trunks like, Dad, no, we can't do this. Bro, one of my funniest parts is when Vegeta said Trunks wasn't gonna hit him. He's like, you won't do it. And Trunks sent his ass flying, and Vegeta's just laying on the water like, he really did it. I love that nigga, bro. Oh my God, Vegeta's phenomenal. This nigga said, this kid just doesn't get it. And then, I'm not gonna lie. The narrative about Goku being a bad dad, I'm seeing Goku being a parent here, especially in the hyperbolic time chamber. I'm like, even before then, when he sent Gohan ass back flying at the lookout, because he's like, nah, you're not about to go save Piccolo, bro. We got shit to do, but Gohan, I get it. I'm like, Goku's not a bad dad. Goku's locked in. But Vegeta's the man. Vegeta's the man, bro. Oh God. No, he was definitely proud of Trunks because after he did it, he didn't even go and attack Trunks right away. He let Trunks get his shit off a little bit. He's like, oh, I guess he wants to see how strong he is too. And he let Trunks get his shit off a little bit. Then he intervened. Right? But Cell, man, that nigga Cell. That guy Cell, man. Whoo. So yeah, I'm in a phenomenal part of Dragon Ball Z. I'm loving it right now. Have I finished Better Call Saul yet? I am at episode 11 of season 6. So I have 3 episodes left. I've been low-key holding off because I don't want it to end, but I'm 3 episodes behind. And I did plan on finishing it this weekend. What's happening? I appreciate you being here, my guy. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. No, after Dragon Ball Z, the plan is to watch Abridged. We're gonna watch the Abridged series. Yeah, also watching Yu Yu Hakusho and Yusuke being just a phenomenal MC, it makes me think a lot about Inuyasha. Oh, bro. shout out to TN holding off Cell to. First off, okay, before that, shout out to TN basically putting his life on the line to hold Cell off for like a good 5 minutes. And then Android 18 and Android freaking 16, they're like, they leave the island, fly away. Vegeta took Cell underwater. And they're still sitting there. And the thing that pissed me off the most is that when they went to hide on the island, I'm thinking they're covered under like shrubbery and trees. They're wide open. They're literally in the open where Cell could see them from the sky. I'm like, what? I'm like, y'all are you. But I get it. Plot-wise, you can't have them leave there. It'd be difficult to find them again. And Android 16 was low-key pissing me off because Cell is terrorizing all the islands around. And first he was like, he won't destroy it. He can't risk to destroy you. He destroys the island. He's like, I was wrong. I'm like, what the fuck? Leave. And Android 18, all of a sudden, she has a heart. She's like, I can't leave you, 16. Fuck me. They were stressing me out. I ain't gonna lie. They were stressing me the hell out. And then Krillin, I'm like, bro, y'all don't see Cell right above y'all? They were... I was stressed. Dragon Ball Z was stressing me the hell out. Sopranos, I think Sopranos was number 2 after something else. But yeah, Sopranos is coming. Yo, say Steph off 16, he got his head, half his head blasted in. Maybe, but holy shit, man. Who would you rather have died? Garp not in front of Luffy or Gaban in front of Luffy? Probably Garp. I think story-wise, it'll be the most shocking thing finding out Garp died in the newspaper or something. But then we probably won't believe it until we see it, but yeah, probably Garp. Well, she's not an android, she's a cyborg. They modified human, so she always had a heart. Yeah. She decides to use it at the wrong time. Who? All right. We're gonna get out of here. But great chapter. The Luffy stuff from earlier. That deserves a deeper dive. We'll see what the guys are doing tonight. Because wait, it didn't say break, did it? But it said it's gonna be a break no matter what, right? I saw a Naruto fan trying to convince people that online that Jiraiya's death was more emotional than Ace. Okay, we talking about like generally or just consensus? I mean, generally or just specific, personally. Jiraiya's death. I realized death in anime, like an actual death in anime, doesn't move me as much. Because when Ace died, it wasn't emotional, right? Because I was mad at Ace at the time, to be honest. When Jiraiya died and how Jiraiya died, I think it was more emotional in the moment because of how he died. The Ace death affected me more because of the after effect where we got the ASL flashback and we got the Dadan and Garp scene. So then that literally made me cry. For Jiraiya, how he went out and how he did it in that moment, that was more emotional for me. See what I'm saying? But overall, Ace's death had more of an emotional impact on me. So I don't think it's invalid. I don't think it's invalid, you know? Drew, I did the entirety of Raising Kanan. The entirety of Raising Kanan is over there. The season finale dropping in 3 hours. Yeah, I think. Yeah, both were impactful. Both are some of the most impactful deaths in anime. It's almost like in Yu Yu Hakusho, right? Is it? Should I hold off on spoiling a 30-year show? A 30-year-old show? Like, fuck it. Genkai's death. I ain't gonna lie, the anime sold the hell out of it with the OST and Yusuke and honestly, I don't remember how I felt with Asuna's death. Asuma. Talking about Asuma from Naruto, right? I don't remember how I felt. I don't think I felt that emotional. You care more about Ace Don because he was younger. I didn't even process all that at the time. The only anime where like their death and even the after effects doesn't move me at all is probably Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z. Like the only death that pissed me off in Dragon Ball Z. Well, Piccolo sacrificing himself for Gohan was emotional, considering what the Piccolo that we knew from Dragon Ball and early Dragon Ball Z. But Chaozu. Chaozu pisses me off. Because Chaozu is 45 years old acting like that. Right? Like they still literally treat Chaozu like if he's 5 years old. Chaozu's a grown-ass man. A grown-ass man. And Chaozu's a good chef. But Tien keeps dragging him to the waterfall to train with him. Chaozu don't want to train. Chaozu want to cook. And they keep pulling Chaozu out of there. And Chaozu don't want to do none of this shit. The only time I saw Chaozu truly happy was when he was cooking for Master Roshi and Chi-Chi and them. Right? That's the only time. Why the fuck we keep dragging Chaozu to train? We got to have a conversation with Tien. Like, literally, Chaozu was having the time of his life. Tien, like, Chaozu, let's go. Okay, Tien. Them motherfuckers just under the waterfall. He don't have to be there. He don't need to be there. Tien. What pisses me off? Goku is going to train with Piccolo and Gohan. Vegeta's going to train with Trunks. Tien, you want to come along? Nah. I think I'm going to go train with Chaozu. What the fuck? Yamcha, you want to come along? Nah. Piss me off. Why do you keep training with Chaozu? Am I tripping? Bro, am I tripping though? Chao Su? Oh, here's the thing. I respect Yajirobe. Yajirobe's like, nigga, I know my place. I'm not doing all that. You feel me? I'm gonna stay up here with corn and eat these sensu beans. I'm not doing all that. Oh, bro, Yamcha. Bro, Yamcha is training time. Yamcha goes to a regular ass gym to bench press. Yamcha's in the gym doing curls. Bro, Yamcha, why are you in a regular ass gym? And then because he's such a hater and he's so jealous of Vegeta, he goes into the machine to see what gravity Vegeta's been training under. He turns on the gravity and almost dies. Oh no. Almost kills himself. But he was able to move under the gravity. I think it was 100 times. He was able to move. So I'm like, all right, you can probably train in like at least 20, 25. Almost kills himself training in Vegeta's gravity. And then goes back to the... I'm like, bro, all right. But Yamcha's funny, though. Yamcha's funny. I love Dragon Ball Z. I love it. I ain't gonna lie. So, at least with Piccolo, oh my God, I thought I knew. I didn't know how much, to what extent Piccolo would overfarm. Like literally, right? Piccolo was at the lookout. And Piccolo didn't have his cape and his hat. Piccolo literally magically got his cape and his hat again just to say some shit. He turned around, put that shit on, and said some shit in the wind. I'm like, okay, Piccolo, it knows no bounds. He's the ore farming king. Like, he would just like put that shit on just so y'all understand where I'm coming from. But I genuinely love Dragon Ball Z. It is phenomenal. It is really, really, really great. What else am I watching? Invincible. Invincible is great. Invincible is great for so many reasons, but I just watched the Adam Eve special. Some good shit there. Some good shit there. I ain't gonna lie. Invincible the one. It needs better animation. There are moments, but it feels like OG cartoons for me. Right? So it doesn't bother me as much because I think the writing is great. So the animation doesn't bother me as much. Like people like, it doesn't ruin it for me at all. Yeah, Eve is fire. Eve is great. Somebody asked me about House of the Dragon earlier. I think the season has been good. It just hasn't been great. The first 2 episodes are great, but the problem is the best way to put this is enough people aren't playing the Game of Thrones. There's only one person playing the Game of Thrones right now, and that's Ormond. That's the only person that's playing the game. Everybody else is tiptoeing around what they have to do. Everybody else is tiptoeing around it, and it's making it just worse material. What Aegon just did, yeah, Ormond is, bro, all the chess pieces he's moving around, especially at a disadvantageous position. I'm rooting for him now. Rhaenyra's whole crew. Here's the thing. Daemon understands this, but Daemon is still pouting. As much as Daemon is saying he's serving Rhaenyra, he's still at the mercy of his own interests. And Daemon is always going to put Daemon first. It is not about Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra will be like, yo, Daemon, I need you to do this. He's like, yes, but after I do this. Fuck. And then we got like a threesome happening in Harrenhal. I'm like, bro. And Allison pisses me the hell off because she acts so holier than thou. Like, oh, would you stoop so low? We didn't forget what you've been doing. So, I don't know. If like genuinely, it's like every episode, it's Rhaenyra not knowing what's going on, and Ormond just running circles around her. Jake said, "Wish I was Aemon." Yeah, he wants to fuck his mom, and I think she'd do it to save her own life. Yeah, Allison be pissing me off because she be acting like she was this upstanding individual this entire time, especially when she was in power. She's like, Rhaenyra, I don't know, should I? I'm like, bitch. So Damon was right. You can't just have the City Watch get killed without an answer. It's not about him being right. It's about him being loyal. And the thing is, because he's showing up Rhaenyra at the council meetings, the others feel like, fuck, why would I listen to you? The best person that's been at these, of course, the best person that's been at these meetings is what's his name? Alan. Alan has been the person that seems to have their mind in the right place. Everybody else is just on some bullshit. What's his name? Corliss was pouting because she don't want to legitimize his bastards after he ignored him for decades. So all of a sudden he's like, can you make them Valerians? She's like, I don't know. I don't know about that. You know, I got bastards, so it's gonna shine a light on my bastards. So we can hold off. Well, I understand. I don't know, man. It's still enjoyable though. Kristen Cole. I watched a video talking about how Kristen Cole was a demigod in the books and how they butchered him in the live action. And Kristen Cole became the most annoying nigga very quickly. Like he was so like again, I think Kristen Cole walked around like he was a shit. But in the live action, it didn't feel like he was. Like when Gwaine was like, yo, we are outnumbered. It's time for us to get out of here. He's like, nah, this is how we die. This is how we die. All right, bro. I like the fact that Gwaine was like, all right, fuck. And then he's surrounded by an army. He's like, two of you versus one of me. Them niggas said, nigga, we not about to do that. Fuck Kristen Cole. Yeah, and yeah, I'm not rocking with Kristen Cole. I ain't rocking. Yeah, just I guess, bro. I guess. So nah, it's been entertaining. I think next episode is the last episode of the season. So yeah, they were not playing around with him. They're like, we're not about to do this honorable shit. You dead, boy. I would say this last thing before I gotta go. I did not enjoy. Like I enjoyed Aegon, Sunfire, and Sunfire just. I'm like, how? Nobody at any point didn't think, yo, I'm taking this dragon's head. I'm, you know what I'm saying? But I guess it was just like, all right, whatever. It was alive. I love it for Aegon because it's the most agency he's had in the show ever. Right? Putting your balls on the table saying this is how I'm gonna die. I respect it so much. But Sunfire pulling up, just disfigured, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And the problem is in that moment is I guess the amalgamation of all the moments in House of the Dragon, it feels like just insane coincidences. That's how it feels. Ulf, oh man, Ulf. I'm not mad at Ulf. I'm not mad at Ulf. It goes back to Damon. Just treat him like a man. Treat him with some dignity. That's all Ulf wanted. And he just want to go to the bar. Now, they weren't wrong for saying that he can't go to the bar. All right. How about you host his guys or find a way for him to enjoy himself a little bit? There was no care for anybody else or these dragon riders that you're banking on and what they want. I want a castle. There's no fucking castle. Fuck off. Okay, cool. This nigga gave him, like you said, a six pack, and he's like, all right, I'm with you. Yeah, he can't go to the bar. He can't go to the bar. But yeah, exactly, Jake. No concern for morale. Damon is just selfish. Damon is just really selfish. Now, him caring about here's the crazy part. And this is my breakdown of Damon and the Reyna stuff. I think as much as it was about protecting Reyna, it's also for Damon about defying Rhaenyra. Like, I think, yes, he wanted to protect Reyna, but I think he there's some solace in him also defying Rhaenyra. He doesn't respect her. He doesn't. Yeah, bro, you give Ulf a game night once a week, he's good. He was not high maintenance. And that other dude that went for his wife and she like, do you know what happened to me on the roads here? And you chasing dragons and shit? I thought she was bugging. But then I was like, okay. But he like, all right, I went to get a better life for us. She's like, nah, I'm gonna stay here with my family. I'm like, this nigga just risked his life to come save you after he went to attain power as a dragon rider. And you like, do you know how much I went through on the roads here? I'm like, mama, I get it, but let's get out of here. I understand why she's pissed, but man, imagine. Oh, that was sad. That was sad. I thought he was about to get caught too. But no. It's been good. It's been good. But I've liked it to be better. I guess I don't know where. But she was like, all right, you got a dragon. Nah, she was damn near calling the cops on him. But I think, bro, obviously, if we use headcanon and assume what happened to her, she was assaulted several times on the way there. And so she's like, and I'm sure every single time it was happening, she was probably thinking, where's my husband? You know? Where's my husband? Where's my protector? And he over there riding dragons. So, that's over with. That's over with. You got to find a new reason. But I ain't gonna lie, I'd be pissed. I did all this. I snuck in here to get you, and you about to snitch on me? I ain't gonna lie. I might take the dragon and burn that house. I'll play it. I'll play it. I'll play it. Whew. Better than season 2? Yeah, I'd say so. Probably. I don't know. They're very similar, but maybe. I feel like I'm enjoying season 3 more. I feel like I am. I feel like I am. But all right, ladies and gentlemen. Benz Molnar with the 33. Brago, hope everything good. Everything is good. Everything is great, brother. Thank you so much. So we got an early reaction in today. That leaves some time for the boys to have a discussion. We'll try to plan it early because we didn't talk about last chapter, the chapter before that, and then we're about to go on break again. We need it. We need it. Somebody been saying Tournament of Power. Somebody been saying like Hunter catch up. Those are things on the brain. But yeah, great chapter. We'll try to be back later. Y'all be safe. Have a good weekend. Be safe. Drink water. I said be safe twice. But drink water. And I'll catch y'all later. All right. Peace out, family.